It's okay to not be okay. Been going through.
Hi, I'm Terrence Matthews.
My name's MacLean. I'm an addictions counselor.
36 years old. I come from a Jamaican background. I'm born in Rexdale, Ontario.
My name's MacLean. I'm an addictions counselor. I'm not going to give my age. I think it's irrelevant. Maybe that'll come up later. Originally from Brampton, Ontario. Born in Toronto, but living in Brampton. I've been working in the field for, I guess, close to 25 years now. I've had the great honor and pleasure of working with Terrence for about 20 of those years in a private practice capacity. And our goal of putting the podcast together, we've learned so much about Terrence's journey, as you're going to learn what he experienced and went through and is still experiencing. Right. But we want to be able to provide some support to other families who are also struggling with issues regarding mental health and substance use or addiction. If some of Terrence's story and some of my clinical background can support other families and individuals who've been significantly impacted by someone who has a drug addiction or substance use. It doesn't have to be an addiction. Substance use in and of itself is problematic, and we'll end up talking about the difference between substance use and addiction anyway. But our goal is to help those who are also in the same struggle. It is a difficult one, without doubt, and hopefully we'll be able to work in that direction.
For sure, yeah. Okay. The reason why we're doing this podcast is because we want to help families that are going through a similar journey like I went through, having difficulties dealing with mental health and addictions, struggling with finding resources and ways to cope. All right, long story. Let's get started. So first and foremost, I live with my dad. It's my stepdad, but I feel he's my dad. He's the only father figure I've ever known. My dad and my mom, Jackie, and my sister Summer, and my brother Dane.
And we're going to meet Jackie.
Yes,
and Summer in another episode.
Right.
Hear about what their experience was like with you.
Exactly. So I was born in Rexdale. Before my mom met Mappy, who's my dad, my stepdad. We lived alone in a building in Mississauga. We moved from Rexdale to Mississauga. We lived in a small apartment. And shortly after, my mom met Mappy, and he moved from Jamaica to Canada, and we've been living with each other ever since. So that's just a little background about my family setting. I love my family dearly, and as you find out, there's some sensitive subjects that happen, and what I went through, it affected everybody. So I grew up in Mississauga. I moved to Brampton, I believe it was 2002 or 2003. I started middle school there. I started grade 8, and then I moved on to high school shortly after. My high school life was pretty okay at first, in grade 9. I believe I was 14 or 15 when I first tried weed. My cousin, we call him Big Dane, because my brother's name is Dane, and also my cousin is Big Dane.
So about 14, 15?
Yeah, 14, 15.
You hadn't used anything prior to that?
Anything.
No alcohol?
No
Cannabis, no
nothing.
Tobacco? So your first use of a substance was weed?
Weed, yeah. And the first time I used it, I didn't feel anything. It was actually me, Little Dane, which is my brother, and Big Dane.
And on that piece, if I can just jump in, a lot of people that I've talked to in the clinical environment also have given the same experience. That the first time they tried marijuana, they didn't really feel anything.
Right, I didn't.
And if they do, it's often usually a negative effect.
Okay.
Like lightheadedness, dizzy, bad taste.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that there was. So nothing really happened the first time you tried it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just thought like maybe it's not for me. little did I know it really wasn't for me. I would find out later on, like years later. But yeah, so I tried it. Nothing happened. We went back to my aunt's house, and that was the end of that. I think I tried it maybe like a year and a half later.
So like at 16, 16,
Yeah,
17?
yeah.
So by then you were grade 11, high
Grade
school?
10
grade
or
10?
grade 10, I think.
Okay.
I tried it again.
And I think that was around the time we met.
We actually met in grade 11.
Grade 11.
Yeah.
Okay. And you would have been 17.
17, yes, yes.
Yeah, so we met grade 11, 17 years old in Brampton.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that was 2006
2006.
when
I
we
think,
first met, yeah.
Mom, Jackie, had reached out to looking for programs. And I guess we'll let Jackie tell that part of the
Yeah,
story.
right.
But Mom had reached out to the program that I just happened to be a clinical supervisor at,
Mm-hmm.
and we spoke. And I think we have some good footage of Jackie thinking who she was talking to and all that. I just want to let her tell that story.
Yeah.
So our contact was through a substance abuse program
Right.
at 17 in Brampton.
Right. But before we jump to that, I just want to say I just tried marijuana again, and I got high, and I loved it.
And so that was the second, third time?
Second or third time, yeah.
And it was just straight up smoking it.
Smoking it, just a regular spliff. Tried it, loved it, and it became a routine. I started hanging out with people that do it regularly, and that was like our bonding. Like we would chill at my friend's basement and smoke weed, get high, and listen to music, play FIFA, all types of stuff like that, and just have a good time. So I didn't think anything of it.
So when you first started using, it was actually a pleasant experience the first
Right,
couple times.
right, yeah.
There was nothing negative for you happening at the time.
It's funny.
But at that time also, just for chronological understanding, marijuana was also illegal at that time.
Right,
It was an illegal substance. It was a
Yeah.
banned substance.
Right,
Let's
right.
not forget that now because everything's so legalized.
Yeah.
The substance use landscape was very different in the time that you're talking about.
Right. So
So you
yeah,
smoked some weed
it
a
was-
few times. It's a good experience.
Yeah, I loved it, and I was a regular smoker. I never had a bad experience. I never even had a bad buzz. I didn't have any bad experience at all. So fast forward a little bit, I believe it was summer break was about to start, and my mom asked me if I wanted to go to Jamaica with my cousin Tierra, and so I was like, oh, for sure, I'd love to go to Jamaica. I've been there multiple times in the past, but as like a older kid, I haven't really experienced that. So we ended up going to Jamaica, and this is where it began. So we took a trip. It was me, my cousin Tierra, her daughter Shea, and Tierra's sister Savannah.
And had you just still only been using marijuana?
Yes.
For how long now were we at? So
I
like
ju-
16,
I-
we're
I-
about 2 years now you've been using, year and a half?
Yeah, about that.
Okay.
I was also drinking a little bit, but that I wasn't really drinking like regularly. Like it was just here and there.
And by drinking, you just mean beers.
Yeah, it wasn't like nothing
So
crazy.
the two substances, alcohol and cannabis,
That's-
but for now it was mostly just cannabis.
Just cannabis,
And just
yeah.
smoking it.
Right.
And was it, I guess we're at now, what, about 2 years, we said?
Yeah.
And it's more, is it chronic at this point? Is it daily?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
daily use.
Yeah.
What's the amount? How much do you think you were smoking in a day?
No, I'd say it's
Before
like-
you went to Jamaica?
Say like a spliff a day.
A joint a day?
But it depends. Sometimes if it's like a Friday or a weekend, I go to my friend's house and we're hitting blunts
Right.
after blunts after
Right.
blunts. And we used to call it party packs, where 5 blunts in one pack. And we'd roll up enough to and it would be like 5 or 6 of us smoking. And we're
Right.
just hotbox in the basement.
Right.
Pretty much.
And so when you left to go to Jamaica, it had
Right.
been now 2 years of use.
Yeah, about
And
that.
of those 2 years, about 1 year was chronic use,
Right.
daily use.
Right.
Okay, so off to Jamaica you go.
After Jamaica, I go, and so I went with my family. We stayed at my uncle's house, which is Tierra's dad's house. He has a nice house out in Clarendon, Jamaica.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we stayed there, and everything was cool. I was excited because I was like, yes, I get to try some high grade weed now, you know. And for those who don't know, high grade is like the potent marijuana in Jamaica. So went down there. There was like little youths in the yard, and they would get us everything we needed. Like say if we wanted a 6-pack of Coronas or sorry, 6-pack of Guinness or Heineken.
Right,
We just tell them, and they'll go to the shop and bring it back. For
No
us.
Red Stripe?
Yeah, I didn't really like Red Stripe.
If people in Yad see this, they're going to be very disappointed you didn't say Red Stripe.
No, they'll be happy though that I love the Guinness extra stout.
Okay.
Yes, so that was my favorite, by the way. So yeah, we would just get them to get anything for us, so including weed. They get us papers, lighters, weed daily, because we would just be smoking, having a good time, chilling out at the house.
Because it's just maybe paint a bit of a picture for people, because I don't imagine everyone has been to Jamaica,
Right.
Where the culture
Yeah.
has a specific religion,
Yeah.
Rastafarianism. That cannabis use is actually a part of the religion for some, not all.
Right.
But the island in and of itself is quite a home of cannabis.
Right. So it's funny you bring that up, because I'm still feel like in my heart I'm a Rasta in certain aspects. So that was a part of the reason why I love weed too, because
Interesting.
it went hand in hand.
See,
the
I was-
reggae music and the weed.
But I'm going to take us off track for a
Right,
second,
right.
because we're doing the podcast,
Yeah.
but we're still who we are, and you and I still have our history.
Right.
And I didn't know about Rastafarianism
Yeah.
in your heart.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I know I've been to Yard.
Yeah.
My besties are Yards.
Yeah.
Yardies. I'm no expert, but I do know about Jah Rastafari. And
Yeah.
Rastafari, but I had no idea it was so significant in your heart.
I was actually gonna grow dreads and do the whole thing, but then I was just like, no, it's okay. I'm not gonna bother with that. But I was getting close to that. Like,
Wow.
yeah,
But I don't think we ever really talked about that.
yeah. That's funny that we did.
That's
Yeah,
interesting. I
that's-
feel, as the counselor,
Yeah.
I feel like that would almost be something you keep sort of tucked away.
Yeah.
Because there was, again, and I'm not trying to stereotype, I'm not being ignorant, I'm trying to be very respectful, but maybe because cannabis or weed smoking was such a significant part of that culture for you,
Right.
of your culture, it's
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you are Yard, that maybe that wasn't something you felt safe or comfortable, or saying, hey, listen, I'm going to go down this path that's going to almost guarantee
Yeah.
more drug use.
First of all, I just want to make this clear. Not all Rastafarians smoke weed, and not all Jamaicans smoke weed. There's a lot of Jamaicans that are against it.
And not all Jamaicans are Rastafarians.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So.
Actually, it's a Christian following mostly in
Right,
Jamaica.
right, yeah. So, sorry, where was I? Oh, yeah, the Rasta influence.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was heavy into that.
Because
This-
I think, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Dread. I think that the reason why I paused is because I've been there. I've been in the circle when you're smoking with some of the Rastafarians when I was in Jamaica.
Right.
That is a different kind of smoking.
Right,
The amount of smoke, how you smoke,
Right.
the quantities are unbelievable. And like you
Right.
said, that extra potency.
right.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, when we were in Jamaica, my family has a lot of connections, and we were around a lot of reggae artists, a lot of Rasta reggae artists. I don't want to name any names,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we were around certain crowds, and they were smoking weed. We were smoking weed with them, and yeah, it was a good old time.
Vibes are good.
Yeah, yeah, vibes were good.
And Pasa Pasa was killing it.
Yes. Right. Let me get on that. So Pasa Pasa, for those who don't know, is a day rave party. Not a day party, but a rave party. So it starts from like 9, 10 at night and goes to like 7, 8 in the morning. Everyone's just partying.
And this where about in Jamaica is
This
this?
is Tivoli Garden.
Tivoli Garden.
Tivoli Garden.
I'm not doing any accents. 'Cause I will get in trouble. I cannot imagine the hate mail we would
Tivoli,
receive.
Tivoli.
You're going to get me into trouble, sir. You have to back me up when this stuff starts coming down the pipes.
Right. So that's in the heart of the garrison. Like real, like, for those who don't know what a garrison is, it is the trenches, it is the gutter, it is the impoverished areas in Jamaica. So we were driving around there, we were partying down there, and yeah, but here's where the story gets a little crazy. So Pasa Pasa, it was all good. We had fun. I was happy to experience that because I was a huge fan of that. Me and my family would watch DVDs of Pasa Pasa.
Wow.
like religiously,
So
like
people should look it up.
right,
Check it
yeah.
out.
There's
Check
so
out
many.
Pasa Pasa.
There's like over 1,000 DVDs of these parties.
Wow.
So I used to learn the dances and everything.
Wow.
Right. So fast forward a little bit now. By the way, I forgot to say, like, a lot of this story is from my perspective. It's from what I remember.
It's how you recall it.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff happened, and it's been years later.
Yeah.
Right. So prior to it getting crazy, talk
about the getting crazy piece. You said that a few times now. What's the getting crazy?
I'm getting to that. Give me 1 second. So this guy warned me. And I was smoking a big head spliff right in front of this guy. And he said, yo, Mayu, that thing that you smoke, be careful, you know.
So
dangerous thing.
Translate that patois.
So basically he's warning me and telling me the spliff, the marijuana that I'm smoking, is very potent and it can be very dangerous. He was warning me.
Yes.
And I kind of just brushed it off like, bro, I've been smoking weed for years. Like, it never affected me.
Little did you know that.
In my head, I never said it to him. I was very respectful. I was just like, okay, cool. I hear you.
But it's interesting that he picked you out of the crowd.
Right.
To give you the warning. Like he was a guardian angel of some sort.
Right. Spiritually, it might have been.
Almost prevent. Anyway, we can come back to it. But imagine if you had followed through on what this man said to you and you put that out. That joint out.
We wouldn't be here.
We wouldn't be here.
Right.
Which is really kind of interesting too.
Yeah, that's interesting for real. So I think maybe a day later, I started noticing my cousin acting weird, at least from my perspective. And like she wasn't, to me, from my perspective, it seemed like she was acting odd, a little bit off. And she was actually thinking the same thing about me. So I called my mom and I was complaining to my mom, like, I don't know what's wrong with Tiara, like something's going on with her, this and that. And little did I know, I was the one actually acting off. And so it was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, everyone was sleeping. It felt like a dream / nightmare. I woke up out of my sleep and I just ran outside of the house. And I was literally, I walked up the hill and I saw, there's like goats in the yard and stuff. I was talking to the goats. I was talking to the chickens. I was running around the whole, it was a rural area.
So I'm going to jump in.
Yeah.
Because I think we should just give a bit of context. So that day, you were smoking weed.
Yeah.
How much weed were you smoking that day?
The whole trip.
Before
that, I was.
Right. Was it mega doses? Were you smoking
a lot.
Right.
A lot.
So how many days had you been there now, roughly?
Roughly, probably about a week, maybe.
Okay. So you've been in Jamaica for a week.
Yeah.
Smoking.
Just going heavy.
Daily.
Heavy. Yeah.
And excessive amounts.
Excessive amounts.
Okay. So now it's like day 7 after a week of excessive pot smoking.
Right. And I experienced my first psychotic episode. So I literally was running around the area. It's like a rural area. There's a lot of trees, a lot of grass, water, creeks and everything. And I was running around, rolling around in the grass, rolling around in the water, talking to the chickens, talking to the goats. I saw lights on in other people's houses and I took it as like a signal to go to the house. If I see a light flicker.
So if the person flicked the light on, you would run to the house?
Run to that house, yeah. And keep in mind, I had no idea what was going on. Like now thinking back to it, it just feels like a nightmare. Like it doesn't even seem real. And I had no control over my body and what I was doing.
And you were totally by yourself at this
By
point?
myself. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning.
And this episode. Well, because we use terminology, right, Terrence? But we're only using the terminology now.
Right.
Back then, we weren't 100% sure.
What it was,
right? As we've talked about, like Terrence made it clear. We've only got a couple more minutes now.
Right.
But the cannabis-induced psychosis, we now know, triggered this psychotic episode. To explain a little bit, there for a week, smoking every day, excessive amounts.
Yeah.
And then on about day 7 or 8, what happened? The psychotic episode broke you.
Right.
And maybe tell them a little bit about what that experience was like for you.
Yeah, so it was terrifying. It felt like I was dreaming. It felt like a nightmare. I had no control over my body, had no control of what I was doing. I was running around, rolling in the grass, rolling in the water. One point sticks out to me. At one moment, I felt like my soul left my body, and I was looking down at myself. Like, believe it or not. But yeah, I was literally looking down at myself, like, and it was crazy. And I experienced my first psychotic episode because of my marijuana use, excessive marijuana use.
And so what happened after all of this psychosis and these bad experiences? You're by yourself, wandering around the countryside.
Right.
What happened? Where'd you
So
end up?
a guy was actually there walking the street. He said, "Yo, go ye yard, go ye yard," and I was just like ignoring him. Like I just went about my business. I kept on running around, and I think eventually I actually did go back to my yard.
And how many hours now do you think we're into this episode?
This couldn't have been that long. Maybe like a half an hour or so. I was outside. Maybe I don't know.
I'm betting it was longer.
Yeah, I had no sense of time.
Well, yeah, because
I had no sense of time.
because of in the episode there's a time distortion, right?
Right,
You're
I
not
don't
even able to keep track of time. So.
Exactly. I had no idea. I had no idea how long it was.
Okay, so this man sees you.
And he's like, "Go yard, go home." And I was like, "Okay." The man told me go yard, and I went home. Eventually, woke up the next morning, and all hell broke loose.